The use of language has been crucial in the vampires' campaign to spin the narrative their way. Words and phrases like pandemic, vaccine, anti-vaxxer, save lives, stay safe, safe and effective have all been used as part of the manipulation, deception and distraction, and some of these words have been specifically redefined to fit the narrative. Whilst we are all focused on the injections, very few of us, even narrative skeptics, are talking about the so-called vaccine passports, whilst governments around the world are implementing and developing them at rapid speed. But the very term vaccine passports is in itself a cover for what they really are. As the BMJ editor Dr. Doshi pointed out recently, the definition of vaccine has conveniently been changed in the Webster Dictionary so as to include the COVID injections, even though these injections don't stop infections or transmission. And the word passport is associated with foreign travel. So the millions, if not billions, of people who have been jabbed don't have a problem with the vaccine passports, or even welcome them, because they think that the passports will allow them to go on holiday. But this is not the point of this technology at all. It will be used against everyone to keep them under total surveillance and control. Maybe this is why they have suppressed drugs like Iva you-know-what and Hydro you-know-what, and why they have ignored the data on the importance of vitamin D and the effect it has on COVID and overall health, because they needed to deliver the drugs by syringe so that they can be recorded and registered in an app. And maybe it can explain why they are so desperate to get everyone jabbed, despite many of them having natural immunity, and despite the young being unlikely to get very ill, and despite people having the right to bodily autonomy, because jabs segue so smoothly into these new Orwellian control passes. In Israel, they have already disabled the so-called green passes for those who are double jabbed, and they will only enable these passes when they have had their so-called booster. In Austria, they have just announced that they will punish the jabbed with fines of up to €1,500 and jail if they don't get the booster. And these things are not just for foreign travel. They are already being used in many countries just to allow people access to public services, including restaurants, concerts, gyms, universities, and even public transport. They can and will start to introduce all manner of things: other injections and medications, more boosters, social credit scores, etc. They could start insisting that you take biometric tests every day before you leave your house, and if your phone detects a cough, temperature, or runny nose, your pass will be disabled. If you mix with the wrong people, say the wrong things online, are late with your payments, go out if you're meant to be quarantining, and all manner of things, they can just disable your pass at the touch of a button. Add to that the fully programmable digital currency that they're working on, over which they will have full control, of course, unlike Bitcoin, and billions of smartphone owners all around the world will be trapped in a digital prison policed by the very smartphone they paid for hundreds or even thousands of pounds. You've got to give them credit where it's due. It's a brilliant plan. But what can be done about these crackpot plans? I have no idea, but let's have some fun with it at least, and think of more creative, appropriate and accurate names to call this initiative. So far we have come up with Slave Pass, Electronic Self-Tagging App, Digital Leg Irons, Obedience Pass, and Personal Digital Prison Guard. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we can start to change some of the language and some of the spells that have been cast upon us.